Hey everybody, it's Kristie with Fur Babies and Friends. I am the owner and positive reinforcement-based trainer here based out of Glendale, Arizona. In this video, we are going to talk about a few really important things that I am always surprised that a lot of people don't know. And that's about puppy vaccinations and socialization and how those two kind of go hand in hand. So one of the major things that a lot of people don't know is what the actual appropriate vaccination schedule should look like for a puppy. So if you got from a breeder or even from a shelter, most puppies get their first vaccination, and that's the distemper parvo vaccination, at around 8 weeks of age. Each puppy needs to get at least 3 rounds of distemper parvo vaccinations. In times where distemper parvo is kind of an outbreak or on the rise, some vets will even recommend 4 to 5 vaccinations, especially like, for example, my demo dog Apollo, he started his distemper parvo vaccinations at 5 weeks old because he grew up in the shelter. In order to keep him safe, they did start vaccinations early. But for most puppies, they want to get their first vaccination shot of the distemper parvo vaccine at about 8 weeks of age, and then it's very important that they get the second and third round between 2 to 4 weeks apart. So if you got the first round at 8 weeks, you get the next round at 12 weeks and the third round at 16 weeks, with that 16-week being what vets have said is the optimal kind of inoculation for a puppy as far as the 3 rounds of the distemper parvovirus. Normally then, at that 16-week appointment, they'll also get their rabies vaccination. And then if your dog is going to be socializing with any other dogs, I would highly recommend you also get the Bordetella vaccination, because that is for kennel cough. Kennel cough can turn into pneumonia, and pneumonia can be deadly. So 16 weeks, you get all 3 of those. And then new information, at least from my vet, has said that leptospirosis is now a recommended basic core vaccine. Leptospirosis is also transmissible to humans, so it might be something to look into in the future. But in order to keep your dog safe or your puppy safe, it's really important. There's kind of 2 schools of thought in this. My school of thought, and been doing this for a while, and I actually talked with my vet about this when I read new research, is that you really shouldn't be taking your puppy out anywhere, even a walk around your neighborhood, until they've completed their full set of vaccinations. Now, even if they got all of their full vaccinations at 16 weeks, that doesn't mean that day that you should start bringing your puppy out everywhere. You need to give it anywhere between 5 to 7 days is normally ideal to kind of let the puppy's body do what it needs to do, develop the right immunities to be safe out in the environment. Now, with that said, the American Association of Veterinary Behaviorists has actually come out and said that you can start to safely socialize your puppy after their first vaccine. The reason for this is when COVID happened, a lot of us sheltered in place. And even after COVID ended, we are still sheltering in place. And because of this, our puppies and our dogs are missing a lot of socialization, early socialization times and development. And this is greatly affecting them into adulthood. So now when I say safely socializing, I definitely don't mean taking them to the pet store right away, or even going to a dog park, or going to places where lots of animals tend to be. Those are breeding grounds for diseases, and your puppy doesn't have the immune system to fight off all of those until they have all of their vaccinations. But you could socialize your puppy. Let's say if a friend had another dog and they had completed all of their rounds of vaccinations, that would be a good place to socialize your puppy, because the other dog has been vaccinated. Puppy classes where the trainer or the facility is actively scanning and looking for vaccinations and doing proper cleaning protocols, like with vet grade cleaner. that could be a good place to socialize. Maybe quick little short trips around the block. I still maybe would wipe my puppy's feet off. But even with that said, if that's something that doesn't make you comfortable, there's still lots of ways that you can socialize or engage with your puppy or build their confidence without necessarily leaving your house or your backyard if you have that option. Now, for people who live in communal living environments, such as apartments or condo complexes, that poses definitely a big risk to an under vaccinated puppy. That's one of the main reasons why puppy pads were invented, is to help potty training for puppies, for people who live in communal animal living areas where it wouldn't be safe to take your dog out. Parvo can live on surfaces for up to 9 months, and the mortality rate of a puppy and or dog that gets parvo without any sort of medical intervention is 80 to 90%. It's really high, and for a long period of time there was no treatment for parvo. So if your dog got parvo, and I have had and seen plenty of puppies and dogs with parvo, which it's a pretty sad thing, it basically becomes the dog or puppy's will to survive. They can be supported with other supportive measures like fluids and food or water and blankets, but historically there hasn't been any sort of cure for parvo. Recently I did read someplace where they came out with a new kind of shot, like a cure for parvo, but that is obviously very expensive. So when I think about when I've had my puppies, my own puppies, I've always waited until about that 17-week mark before I start getting them out into the world, because to me it's not worth risking their health or safety. When parvo could be running rampant, and there's plenty of other things, or distemper too. There's plenty of other things running around that could, end the life of your puppy. To me, it's just not worth it. I'd rather work on doing things in home, and there'll be another video here about things that you can do with your puppy or even with your dog to build confidence, create courage, help with problem solving. These are all things that are going to set your dog up for success. And moreover, you have to think about, when you get a puppy, you've just taken them away from everything that they used to know, the only thing that they've probably known in their life. And that is stressful. So giving your puppy time to decompress, acclimate to you, acclimate to your home environment, get used to your routine, find some structure, understand where they fit, how to interact with you, that stuff can take some time. It's okay to use that time to really build and grow and nurture your relationship with your puppy, while being safe. But know that after that kind of inoculation period, after that 16 weeks period is done, it really is important that you do as much as you can to get your dog out safely, to socialize them with other people, with other dogs, with different environments, with different textures, with different surfaces, with different sounds, sights, anything that you can imagine. Puppies can be pretty resilient, and just like kids are, and the sooner you introduce them positively to these things, the better kind of handling or coping skills they're going to have as they move into adulthood. So I just wanted to take a minute to just share those really important vaccination reminders, because again, I'm always surprised, especially when I meet new puppy parents, that they don't realize that there's 3 rounds of the distemper parvo vaccination, and that if you miss any of those 3 vaccination requirements, like let's say you miss it and you accidentally go to 5 weeks or 6 weeks instead of between the 2 to 4 weeks, you need to restart your vaccination, the set of 3 vaccinations of distemper parvo, all over again, which will only further delay your dog's socialization and progress. And again, just like us, the older we get, the harder it is to learn things, the less kind of adaptive we are. So you really want to make sure that you're keeping very good track, a record of what those vaccinations look like, so that you can set your puppy and you up for a long, healthy life together. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and there will be a lot more puppy content coming. If you did like it, please feel free to like, comment, and share. I will try and reply back to any comments or questions that I get. Otherwise, stay tuned. There's plenty more to come. Thanks, and have a great day.